what you want? And are you getting what you
All right, welcome back. No Means No Nicks, No Means Nerds, to our humble little podcast, No Means No Thing.
Hey,
No means nothing.
hey.
Nice, excellent.
I'm one of your hosts, Jordan.
I am an additional host, Matthew. Hi.
And I'm a co-host, Michelle.
Co-host.
Co-host.
Peru.
Give me some of that cocoa. Yeah.
And after
Peru.
6 weeks between episodes 14 and 15, 6 days between 15 and 16.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough. Last time we recorded, I think I was telling everybody that my wife had gone away for a week. Well, she's been away for a week, which means I've been playing Mr. Mom and working full time. So shout out to all the single parents out there. It's fucking hard as hell. So good on you. If you're listening out there, you're the real hero. That was my mom too. She was a single parent. So
Hey, me too.
big props up to her. Look at that. So shout out to all the single parents. It is a fuck ton of work. So I'm gonna be flying by the seat of my fucking pants tonight. We'll see how that goes. But
I'm set up in the basement today, the summer studio, because I was on episode 15. I was actually not entirely home towards the end of there, and so it's nice and cool down here. A little musty, a little spidery, but all good and ready to rock. Yeah,
nice. Let's do it. But before we get to the rock, we got to wet our beaks a bit. So I'm going to be boring. Yes, you've been seeing me sip coffee, but I also have my old standby, a Marniac. So I'm going to tip a little back here. Michelle,
and your glass ass.
My little glass ass. Michelle, what you got for us? You mixing it up or are we going old school?
Orange clover. Oh, wait. Green clovers, blue diamonds.
Subtle racism.
No, come on. I didn't write that commercial. Oh, all right. I'm drinking Guinness. Jeez.
Hey, I didn't say it. Nice. I got to get a little harp sound effect or something for that.
Oh, yeah. Gling. No, come on. That was the.
I know, the Lucky Charms guy.
We know.
All right. I didn't know if they have that.
We're not actually accusing you of racism.
No. They just might not have got away with that these days, perhaps.
Really?
I don't watch TV with commercials anymore, so I don't know what the fuck Lucky Charms is up to.
Yeah, I haven't in 20 years, but
not that lucky, probably.
Probably not.
The comical accent and the little stereotyped little... anyway, diddly-dee.
All right, Matthew, what horrors do you have for us this evening?
Oh, actually, I kept it neat and clean like last time. You guys kind of gave me the out and let me have the refreshing white peach beer, but I still have the same two from last week. I have the Night Watch coffee lager and Longboat chocolate porter, long promised.
Oh my god!
So,
so it's coffee or chocolate,
pretty much.
Drink
let's
both,
buzz you,
man. You got to
mix them. I was gonna say those got to be mixed. No, I'd go with the coffee. Let's amp you up. We've been overly alcoholing you lately. Let's.
You know what?
I think coffee.
This it probably should be colder than it is. So I think I'm going to go with the chocolate porter. I don't mean to.
Fine, just totally go against my vote. I guess it means nothing.
Beer cheese.
Rules mean nothing.
Yeah,
rules mean nothing. So we might as well not even vote on this podcast anymore.
Well, before you guys chose chocolate porter, and I blew you out of the water. So this time I chose something else, and we're back. We're back
also
on track.
Me out of the water. That's
karmatically cool.
That's right.
Chocolate porter.
The balance sheet equals out.
Yeah.
So everyone out there, crack it open. You know what you got. I like to picture. I know there's one guy, I forget his name, which it sucks, but talks about drinking out in the backyard with a fire pit, cracking open a beer.
Oh yeah,
makes me about just as happy as I can fucking be imagining that. So hope you're out there doing that, or somebody else. And let's dive in to. I'll do my little catchphrase. Some very interesting matchups.
Indeed.
And as always, really true. So we're going to start this time with two way back catalog reaches. We're starting off with Try Not To Stutter, which is originally off of the Betrayal, Fear, Anger, Hatred EP. Although most of us probably know it more from the Mama reissue in 1992. And that's going up against the venerable Obsessed off of Sex Mad 1986.
God.
So 2 early catalog songs, right? We've had kind of a run of late catalog songs lately, so it's nice to kind of dip our beak back in the olden days. And this week,
I'm a beak dipper.
Yeah,
I like deep in my beak.
Dip my beak. So this week I get the I guess ignominious honor of starting first.
You get your
and
clacking
then Michelle's
parrot's beak.
That's right. Michelle's in the middle, and then Matthew will play cleanup on this one. So first, we're going to let you hear a little of the dulcet tunes of this very soporific piece, Try Not to Stutter. All right, there it was. So Try Not to Stutter. What do I got to say about this one? So not a song that I've spent a hell of a lot of time listening to in the past. And I realized today when I was looking at this is the first time I've ever fucking sat down and actually looked at the lyrics for this song, which is shameful.
Me too, actually.
But I ain't never gone like, wonder what the lyrics to that song are. I just let it fucking blast over me. And it's not like I've listened to it many times. And I really like this song. It's a great early example. I really, this time, realizing it was off of the Betrayal, Fear, Anger, Hatred, I tried to listen a little bit to all those songs to kind of see like, what was this tone of that album? And fucking wild, man. It's wild.
It's kind of everywhere.
Yeah, it's kind of everywhere. And really like a good transition, or not a good, but a anthropological transition from the Wormies into the Sex Mad era, right? Like it's a bit more punky and experimental than they got on Wormies in a way, but still not where you get to with Obsessed, certainly, which is a good kind of evolutionary leap in a way.
And not quite as new wavy as Mama either.
Not quite as new wavy as Mama, right? It's still heavy blues. Like to me, this gets it's a heavy, greasy blues song. And in terms of what it means, like this is a one-day take, so what the fuck do I know? But what I came away after reading this was it really feels like a song that like an older grifter is singing to 2 younger grifters, kind of going like, hey, here's the rules of the road, man. Like back in the day, I like there's the one little stanza that was the snot-nosed kid trying to blow my cover. If they won't buy that, I'll tell them another. Like there's just all these things about kind of like, yeah, back in my day, it used to be pretty good, but then someone caught on to me and I had to blast out of town. And whatever you do, if they catch you, don't talk to the cops. And if you do talk to them, don't stutter. Don't stutter when you talk to those cops. So I don't fucking know. But when I took that slant and I read through the lyrics, I kind of went, oh yeah, it all fits. But it could also be one of those things of like, well, you found a slant, you made it fit. So I don't fucking know. And like most songs, you can't sandwich it into one particular meaning. But there's a string of that. There's a string of not talking to the authorities, making sure if you do talk to the authorities, you keep your fucking cool, and sort of that feeling of I used to be hot shit and now I'm sort of washed up, but I'm passing on my wisdom to you whippersnappers. But honestly, folks, with this one, fuck if I know. I mean, I can't stick my fork in this one as much as I do some other songs, because literally I just looked at the lyrics today. I don't know how that happens. I can't actually think of many No Means No songs that I haven't parsed over somewhat. And I was really surprised to look at this one and realize you never fucking have, you idiot. Why not? And I don't know why, because I do like the song. I think it's great. Musically, this song shreds. It's great. John, you can start to hear John grow his extra arms a little bit. They're there a bit. Rob's real guitar heavy on this one, right? The bass is sort of in the back, being more traditional, and hasn't quite figured out that's...
Is there bass in this song?
There is, yeah, it's there, but it's behind. It's in the back, kind of not being...
I didn't think I heard any.
doing its thing back there. And Rob's kind of more like, look, I can play fucking guitar. Check me out. And he can. And it's good. Yeah, it's a good song. But I don't think I have a lot more of depth to say to this. I'm really interested to hear what you guys have to say. Michelle, you're up. What do you think of this sucker?
This song is seriously fucking cool, and one of my favorites on the EP. And I did hear it on the Mama reissue, I guess. Not like I have an actual album. And I resent that this has to go up against Obsessed. I really, really like this song. I have no idea what the lyrics are, but I'll bet I'd like it even better after you guys talk about it. So maybe Matthew, maybe you can like help us more with that.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to break it open for us. But we'll see.
I hope so. If I heard this live, I would dance like a jackass. Now, I already do, but I would just gallop around the room looking stupid. This song just kills me. I can't not sit there and not move when I hear this. It's so catchy and cool, and I adore the hell out of it. Wouldn't this song have been fucking awesome with Andy singing it live? I bet you. I've seen it's on the set list for some of their live shows, and I bet you he sang it when they did. Yeah,
it.
Some snarl. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. No. That's a good point because I think you're right. I think there would have been some good faces made by him. Like I said, it's a nugget of joy that I can't get enough of. There's some unusual audio with it. I don't know. You guys, do you know what I'm talking about? It's just kind of fuzzy and kind of like far away. It just sounds great. And it really picks up the crunch fest that this song is. And I absolutely love it.
Yeah. It's got that super old lo-fi feeling to it, right? It really feels like this was recorded on that old fucking 4-track or
I bet it was.
Whatever. Tascam back in the basement or something. It's got that real homespun feeling, which I fucking love.
Yep.
I love it.
I totally agree. I think it's great.
All right, Matthew. So I'm really wanting to hear what you have to say about it too. What's going on with you in this one? So
yeah, this kind of went through a bit of a time warp for me because Mama was not available to me in my early wasn't reissued. I started doing a radio show in 1991, and the radio station had a copy of Mama, but it did not have a copy of the EP that this was from. So I didn't actually hear this song until it's possible that I heard it in live shows. I don't remember, but I wouldn't have been familiar with it because it wasn't on any of the albums that I had access to. So I wouldn't have heard it until the Mama CD re-release. Until today, I never sat down and read the lyrics either. But it is, my pappy said, son, you got to drive me to drinking. If you don't stop driving that hot rod Lincoln, he's got similar kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
He's rapping. That's hilarious.
Kind of
honky tonk.
It's hilarious.
And it's a little bit country, a little bluesy, a little country, it's some little bit, yeah, more than a little bit, but it's sort of a story of a kid getting too big for his britches, and maybe somebody, I don't know if he's telling himself or somebody older than him is telling him, but it's kind of got that three individual parts to the story where, first it's sort of getting your story straight with a car wreck and talking to the cops. The second one is sort of kind of getting too big for your britches, and there's a couple other mean kids are going to come after you. You got to keep your story straight. And then the last is like trying to get a girl interested in you, and you got to keep that story straight too. So all those things that you got to get your story straight. You got to not stutter. And for a speech pathologist, kind of an interesting thing to say because stuttering is something I'm actually trained to treat. And stuttering is something that's actually really, really debilitating. So I have to say from the current and soon to be former profession that don't make fun of people who stutter.
No. And, to be fair, I think the stuttering that they're kind of referring to is that sort of like situational, right?
Don't get nervous.
I don't know, officer.
Exactly.
Yeah. The nervous stutter, not the pathological stutter. But
do you think Rob actually got stopped by a cop?
Oh, they must have at some point.
Really?
Yeah,
what do you think he did?
Victoria's a tiny little town. It's a lot tinier than it used to be. It was a lot tinier back then.
Run-ins with the fuzz, the PIG.
rhymes with a fuss.
No, I like that. I like how you kind of identified those 3 stanzas, right? I think that's true. There's really a different energy to all of them, but a similar sort of narrator sort of trying to dispense that down home country wisdom, but sort of the trailer park country wisdom or something. I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting song.
It's kind of honky tonk. It kind of reminds me of a musical form called the reel. It's kind of freewheeling. It's car racing music and so tight.
It is, car racing music,
like a
right.
So wicked.
That I wanted to talk about that muted palm that they do on the guitar to add it as to add to the rhythm for so many.
Yeah,
of
the
those.
Adam and the Ants
It's
shit.
so fucking good. Yeah, so good.
And the bass drum is mic'd really weirdly. You can actually hear that it's actually a little bit off, and I don't think it's that his playing. I think it might just be like the equipment he was playing on, maybe. But you can the bass drum really comes out.
Fascinating.
And it's a little awkward, here and there. So I think that might be just like not being able to sync up, or just the 4-track that they were recording on. I have a feeling it's not John's playing so much as some sort of technical issue, but it's charming because it is
so good.
You don't get a lot of everything else is so incredibly tight about No Means No, and as soon as we talk about Obsessed, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But it's kind of nice to hear something a little off about them.
Yeah,
something
right.
off about it.
And again, it's got kind of a not a sloppiness, but a looseness and an early sort of homespun. Yeah.
And then that
that's nice.
My favorite part is that little, I think it's a honky horn, like a bike horn, like, at the end. Super great, super charming. I can totally see a bunch of kids having fun in a basement on Howroyd Avenue in Gordon Head, recording this in the basement. And,
totally.
Rob booting for them because they weren't old enough to buy alcohol themselves yet.
Right.
Hey, who do you think wrote this? Because this sounds like a John song, but then it sounds like a Rob song too.
I think
maybe they both did. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I would bet Rob, because he was really, he really had that blues thing going early on.
Totally.
Before he really dived into the.
All right.
But I don't know. And the lyrics strike me as Rob lyrics, but I don't know. It's a good question.
I think it's Robbie.
Oh, this is such a cool, catchy song, man. I
it is cool
love
as
it.
hell.
I love it.
Cool as hell. I like all the ones off that EP. They're weird as fuck and great. All right, well, we done with that one?
Yep.
All right, let's move on to Obsessed, Sex Mad, 1986. Here is a little bit of that for you all to get briefly obsessed with. All right, so I'm going to start off. I kind of just want to mouth guitar this whole fucking song as my thing, right? Like I just kind of want to go dun 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 dun.
Let's do it.
I'm not going to.
Come on.
This is being trapped in the mad clock tower of an evil genius. I feel like there's an out of control calliope machine wielding razor wire and scalpels. It's chasing me around a skating rink. I just fucking adore this song. It's crazy as hell. It's one of their, and I could be wrong about this, but I think it's one of their rare songs where almost the entire song has them all playing in unison the entire time, where they're all playing the same fucking thing and they're not doing like 3 parts, except when the guitar breaks out sometimes it does its own thing. But there's so many places in the song where they're all just playing the same thing and it's shreds. I've talked before about using them sometimes in my theater work back in college, and I did that too. I had this teacher who used to have us do these, I forget what she called them, but these things where you'd have to like metaphorically act out the scene with no words and just use a piece of music. So you'd like,
did you do this?
I did for Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. I had the three of us for Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf doing this as like in a boxing ring. We came out, we were like beating the shit out of each other to this song. It was fucking great.
Crap.
It was fantastic. So beating the shit out of it. And
I
also there's
married you on the spot.
Are there keyboards in this? Like, are those keys? Yes. Yeah, right. So there's something so like strangely, beautifully artificial and metallic and robotic behind everything to this in the best way. Not like, it doesn't remove the organicness of it, but it's so fucking tight, tight as hell. It's just, there's nothing off. There's no missed beats. It's so fast. It's so obsessive. I mean, who doesn't love this song? Who doesn't listen to this and just fucking freak out? It's a gorgeous masterpiece. And being, well, I think it's the third song on that album, but it's so different than the first two. Again, this is one of those times where you listen to an album and then you kind of feel like you're getting a feeling for what that album's going to be like. And boom, they stick something right up your ass. You're like, nope. Okay. These guys can fucking do anything. And for this to have been made that early in their career is just fucking nuts. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Definitely prove that, these guys are way beyond any of their fucking peers. Sorry for the peers of the time, but love the song. Absolutely think it shreds. And I'm going to stop there because there's no lyrics, so I've got nothing else to talk about with it, but it's fucking great.
Jesus Christ. Hey, but what do you think the subject would be? You want to make a guess?
Well, the title, right? I think it's just, I think you've got, it's got that feeling of obsession to it, that feeling of just being overtaken by an obsession and that sort of dark energy it can give you. So I don't know. It was a perfect soundtrack for Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? I'll tell you that. So it certainly fits right in with the themes of that.
That's cool.
Very light play. All right, Michelle, you're up. What do you got?
Okay. I have always, and I'm serious, I'm completely serious, and someday I might want to do it. I have always wanted to hear a full orchestra play this song. Can you fucking imagine this?
Hell yeah, that'd be so cool.
Can you imagine how goddamn cool that would be?
It'd be fucking crazy.
I'd want to look at their faces while they're playing it, and they'd be like, holy shit, the hell is this? And believe it or not, this song is in the time signature of 4. It's either 4 or 8, something. It's in a simple time signature.
Right? I counted that out too, and it doesn't seem like it should be.
I know, but this is why this band fucking kills. They shine with the syncopation and where they put the accents. A lot of people think this band plays in weird time signatures. They do not do that.
Right, not mostly, right?
It's syncopation and accents.
They mess with where they put the stress. Yeah.
Yes, they mess where they put the stress. Yes, the stress.
Oh, episode title.
And this is why this band is the total fucking shit. I'm sorry, I'm reading back to my paper, and I obviously skipped above. It sounds like it's in some weird time signature, blah, blah, blah. Most of their songs are in simple, straightforward meter, but their composition makes your ears hear something more complex. The melody, I think, is in the key of C and has our favorite tritone in there for instant anxiety. Something bad here. If I ever saw this live, I would die. The middle section, I can't explain. I think it's a doodle 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 doodle. Oh,
fucking
fuck me, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. It's spectacular. Could you imagine an orchestra playing this?
This is also like a tight 3 minutes, but it feels like a 8-minute song to me. Like this does not in a bad way, but I mean. It's amazing how full it feels, but it's short as hell. Like
it's got
a really short song. Yeah, it's got acts, but it's short as hell. It's not long compared to their other songs.
So good.
Yeah.
They probably would have then maybe inspired by the Neos. They would have been playing it too fast and getting too hot. And like the Neos put sweaters and shit on themselves to try and whack themselves out. while they're playing.
What
Yeah.
the hell's that?
Turn the heaters up and shit like that. So that's...
Have you... Andy has some great videos about his love for that band, Michelle. You should check those out. They're fucking great.
Did they really put sweaters on and make themselves sweat? Why didn't they just cut themselves on stage like everybody else?
Because they wanted to keep it in.
So old hat.
They wanted to keep it in, not let it out. Gotta keep it in.
Yeah. I want to go see this band, see when they faint. Yeah, let's go to see this band faint. No.
Hell yeah.
Anyway.
Listen to our podcast.
Yep.
All right, Matthew, what's up?
Matt, let's hear it.
All right. Here's the No Means No Swiss Army Knife by Victorinox. Look at all the blades. Look at all the functions. It has a saw. You don't need a saw, but you have a magnifying glass. Look at the magnifying glass. It has a toothpick. It has some timpani and an oboe.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
This song seems like something they did just to prove they could do it.
Nice.
There's a lot jammed into it that it makes it almost seems extremely streamlined, but maybe a little impractical in some ways.
Oh my god.
Shifting time signatures, yeah, it is 4/4, but I love how they. It actually reminds me of what in episode 15 John had been doing by putting the stress on different lines. It kind of throws you off a little bit. It's not, it's within the structure, but it's not what you expect, and that's what they do a lot in this. So they're playing 4/4, but they're playing different emphasis within that structure. It seems like. Listen to Andy, he's going to chime in going like, what the hell are you talking about? You don't know what's like. Anyway. I love the loose kind of almost improv part in the middle and it's snapping right back to the structure. It's so ominous.
Oh my god.
Was this what you said? I mean, it sounded like the what did you say? It was like the clock
evil
madness.
calliope machine. Yeah, like wielding razor wire and scalpels. I just feel like this song chases me around when I listen to it. Like, come back
I
here.
wrote it. It's like an animation of a hornet attack or the inside of an anthill or
oh my god! I almost wrote about the ants. I almost wrote it about the ants.
Totally.
Oh.
But they've all got switchblades.
Some kind of insect-like aliens that are invading or something like that. And they move in kind of like stuttering movement.
Jeez.
This is what Dead Bob is listening to, or what is inside his head when he hangs himself.
Oh shit! Oh man!
Oh.
Womp! Damn.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's good.
I love the twanging, clanging sound in the background, and that's the keys. And I have no idea whether that's like an organ or a synthesizer or what's even going on. But I think that's pure John, and it's almost like keyboards are a percussion instrument, but he actually uses it more like percussion than it tends to be used.
Right.
Yeah. Incredible song. And then all that intensity, all that, braiding 4/4 structure, and leading into a cappella, no fucking. Good job. Right? Good job, kids.
Great sequencing yet again. Masters of sequencing.
Anyway.
Yeah. Really fucking good. Nice. All right. Well, here we go. Let's take both these children by the hand, lead them up to the sacrificial altar, look deep into both of their eyes, and know that
Sophie's choice.
The knife of doom must plunge into the heart of one of these innocent youngsters. So I guess I get to go first. Between Try Not to Stutter and Obsessed, it's Obsessed for me, for sure. I do like Try Not to Stutter, but Obsessed is just, I don't know, fucking come on. It's Obsessed. What am I going to do? I don't have any choice. I don't make the rules. That's just the rules. You got to choose Obsessed. At least I do. Michelle, where are you at?
This feels like Sophie's choice, and I'm not kidding. I love Try Not to Stutter. I didn't even make a decision yet. I feel like I need to borrow the washer.
No, it's in the garage. I'm in the basement.
All right, okay. Now, I'm going to vote with Obsessed. I've thought about this song way more than I have with Try Not to Stutter, but I do love the Try Not to Stutter song. But Obsessed is just colossal.
Yeah. Well, Matthew, do we got unanimity, or are you going to mix it up?
I'm going to vote for Try Not to Stutter.
Oh!
Simply because the Obsessed, it almost seems like a kind of a curio. It's like a complex crystal thing that you put on your mantle. It's sort of like so self-contained and, incredible detail and everything like that. And you stare at, oh, look at the complexity within complexity and the fractals and everything like that. But the other one's more fun. So,
Wow.
Nice. I'm glad we're not unanimous. I one of the things we didn't talk about, just to back up on this a little bit, that one of the reasons the other reasons I voted for Obsessed is we don't get too many pure instrumentals out of these guys. And I fucking love it when they do it. I don't think there's an instrumental that they do that I don't fucking adore. And this is the first example. This is the first one that we ever got. And as a first outing of a lyricsless song, it's nuts. It's nuts. So it's one of the reasons I had to vote it through, because it's like, yeah, I love that part of their oeuvre. And this is the first example. But I'm super glad you voted for Try Not to Stutter. I mean, that's a classic. It's a classic.
I could have too.
I almost feel like it's Try Not to Stutter tells a story, and I like the lyrics. I like the storytelling aspect of No Means No. I like the lyrical content. Obviously, it's like 16 episodes worth tend to show you about my preferences. And Obsessed is, I mean, it's kind of like Fantasia.
Yeah,
that's kind of what it reminds me of. Like, it's an incredibly beautiful thing, but you're not always in the mood for it.
Right,
kind of intense.
Oh, but you can get in the mood.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately for you, Try Not to Stutter is hiding its head in shame and Obsessed.
Come on. No, it's not. Oh.
No, you're right. It's not. I don't really mean it. We evolved showered love on it. I love it. It's just unfortunately by a hair's breadth.
Oh, it's so catchy.
It is catchy. It is catchy. But Obsessed wins. It's the victor. And so, luckily, as per our usual now, dear listeners, we aren't going to move directly into our second matchup. We are going to listen to a submission from one of you fabulous listeners. This time it's Jacek, who's going to introduce himself. And he's going to tell us his story of how he came to No Means No and a bit of what No Means No means to him. Matthew, you want to remind people what we're looking for on this front? We'll do this for a little while more before we, I guess, don't say this every single time, but we still want these submissions. So tell them what we're looking for.
Yeah. So thank you all for your submissions, Mr. Diduch. So send your submissions to No Means Nothing podcast at gmail.com. You can carve them up into the three questions that we ask, which are, what is your No Means No origin story? What does No Means No mean to you? And if you have an interesting or sentimental or cherished or horrible No Means No story to tell us that. And of course, you can ask us for technical help if you have trouble recording stuff or don't know how to carve stuff up, or throw it into a Dropbox or do whatever you need to do, or type it on out and let us know if you and who you wish to read your submission. Thank you very much, and we appreciate all of the input. And we think there's a little bit of momentum. This is, I think, the fourth or fifth week that we're doing this, and thank you all so much for your submissions. Thanks for listening.
Hell yeah! So take it away, Jacek.
Greetings to mighty hosts of No Means Nothing podcast and all listeners. I'm Jacek and I check in from Warsaw, Poland. In my No Means No story, there are actually a few meaningful, at least for myself, moments. First one is 1992, when I was spending a year in some Crabville village in New Hampshire as an exchange student. And being a big fan of Dead Kennedys, I somehow became a pen pal with Otto Fairbrain, I think that was his name, of Alternative Tentacles. At some point of our written friendship, I asked him for some recommendations, and he ended up sending me a tape of 0 + 2 = 1. I still remember sitting in a room, looking at the headless shape or shadow reaching out for the doorknob, while the music and lyrics of Now were giving me shivers almost from the first time I heard it. I immediately bought Wrong, Small Parts, Live and Cuddly, and to this day, I remember practically every word of the lyrics. When I got back home, I got more into Slayer kind of stuff, but was coming back to No Means No music quite regularly. Then it wasn't until 2007 when I got to see them live for the very first time, being absolutely blown away by the energy, skills and joy of those three already quite mature folks. Managed to see them in total 5 or 6 times, every time they were coming to my town. Was absolutely devastated and broken when they called it quits. The last, so far, big no means no moment for me was discovering last year We Are So Right, We Are Wrong group on Facebook and consequently your podcast. Both pushed me to look for No Means No's newer stuff I was not so familiar with and making me realize that this band is absolutely musical love of my life. I still believe that the song in your podcast will come from the time between Wrong and Mr. Happy. But until that happens, every second Thursday I tune in and listen about great variety of beers in the places you live in, and most recently about Michelle's distaste for watermelon.
All right, we're back for round 2, and it sounds like for that first round, it was a Sophie's choice for Michelle, and I have to admit that this round for me is absolutely a Sophie's choice, and I am not looking forward to this vote, but I am looking forward to talking about these songs. Unfortunately, I pulled the short straw, and I'm last, so we're going to start off with, I guess I got to say what the matchup is, don't I? The matchup are two very different songs. We've got Till I Die off of All Roads Lead to Ausfahrt, 2006, versus a song I don't think many of you maybe have heard of. It's pretty obscure.
Yeah. I don't know.
The day it's called The Day Everything Became Nothing, off of that eponymous album, The Day Everything Became Nothing, 1987. I mean, fucking give me a break. Come on. God damn it. Algorithm, fuck you is all I got to say. Okay, I'm done.
Hey, this was your idea, so you just pissed it yourself.
I am. Sometimes it comes to bite me in the ass. Sometimes it's nice. I'm like, this is kind of fun. And other times I'm like, fuck you. But here we go. We got to do it. These are the rules. I don't make the rules. Matthew.
I think you did.
First, let's listen a little bit to Till I Die off of All Roads Leads to Ausfahrt. Here you go.
The sound of the ocean, my feet in the sand, the chill of the wind, the lie of the land, the drops on my skull, the dull's lonely sound, the thunder, the lightning, the rain pouring down, till I die, till I die, till I die, till I die, till I die.
All right, take a shot.
All right, Till I Die. It's kind of intense, but kind of basic too. It's very much in Rob's latter-day Buddhist explorations, I think. So the long road of shoveling the snow till he dies. I mean, it's a song about the tedium of life before death, but also the acceptance and coziness of living, I think. I don't have a lot to say about this. Musically, the disco breakdown in the middle is amazing. I love a good open hi-hat, I gotta say. The amazing tom guitar, the background chorus and harmonies is kind of unusual for a No Means No song, which is fantastic. It's kind of a song about the inevitable, everyone's inevitable end at the end of your road. But it's a pretty happy song for the most part. The drums absolutely go off, the triumphant sounding guitars leading to kind of almost like Celtic reel near the end. It's a very happy, uncharacteristically happy sounding No Means No song. Not my favorite off this album though. And Rob's singing is kind of off key. Sorry, Michelle, but it is.
No, I don't think I thought about that.
Yeah.
I don't think I agree, but opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. I'm gonna have to listen to that again. I've never thought that.
I think it's after Measurable if you really wanted to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I'll have to listen to that.
Well, you go ahead and tell him that, Matthew. You just go right and tell him.
I will.
Right to his face.
Hey, Rob, you suck. You can't sing.
Oh, God.
Well, we know that's not true.
Yes, we know that's not true.
Yeah. Rob, You suck. Oh my God. Blasphemous.
This is not Primus.
Absolute blasphemy.
I said blasphemous, not Primus.
Well, you suck is what Primus used to say about themselves.
Oh,
anyway,
yeah,
sorry.
Primus
Big,
sucks, right.
stupid, yeah,
Primus
dumb
sucks,
joke.
yes.
Move on. Nothing to see here.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, no, that's really about it for that.
All right, very good.
Yeah.
Michelle, how about you?
All right. Welp. This one musically is...
Sprechgesang.
No.
This is not Sprechgesang.
No, I know.
It's not... Well, it's...
It's the opposite
close.
of it.
Sprechdeutsch.
Oh,
this,
man, you
this
guys are breaking my
song
heart here.
is cutesy.
I'm dying. I'm going to die. I'm going to fall over my fucking chair. Go ahead.
Oh, it's
Keep
so
going, you two.
major
Keep going.
key, high-spirited, and yes, it's catchy. But funny how we're pitting two storytelling quote songs together, and this one is 1,000,000 times the opposite of its contender. It's so straightforward and not the kind of stuff I like to think about when I think about this band. Being honest here, John is my favorite guy to listen to on this. I don't want to bash it at all, but it's not something I ever go to when needing my no means no fix. And I left some space at the end of the paper that I will use to talk about the everything became nothing if I need extra space on the paper.
Okay, everybody. So I got to fucking step in.
I have that same space.
God damn it. You know what? Fuck this. God damn it. This song slays. You guys are both full of shit. You have no idea what you're talking about. The podcast. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't slay. But, well, that's the wrong word for it, maybe.
It's a Santa Claus sleigh, maybe.
Okay. Oh, my God. Okay. Now you got to shut up. It's my turn. It's my turn.
Sleigh bells.
My turn. This is a great fucking song. Okay, first of all, part of that may be shut up. I'm not gonna take it. You're done.
Our first fight.
Yeah. So yes, indeed, part of this has sentimentality to me because this was like back when my son was like 7 or 8, and I was making him mixtapes to go to sleep by. I was picking no means no songs that had no profanity, and this was one of them. So for him, this is one of his favorites because it's sentimental for him, right? Because we rocked out to this together a lot. So this is well coded in sentimentality for me on that front.
All right.
But I think this is a fucking great song outside of all of that. Like, so normally it's John who I think John did a lot of the music on this album, frankly. I think he wrote a lot of the songs. So, you know, he can be a lot more straightforward. And yet sometimes that veers into the Hanson area, which is not necessarily my favorite. We've made that clear. I love the Hansons, but I don't necessarily love that, as we've said, steak in my peanut butter, whatever. This doesn't have that feeling to me. This feels very anthemic. I love the contrast of the very light, high-spirited music. I mean, this song is a song you could play for your grandparents, right? Like they might get into it. This is not an off-putting song, but it's full of fucking energy. And then you've got these lyrics that you could, if you listen to them really closely, on one blush, they sound very dark. There's some things about living your life without any feelings and with not crying any tears. It sounds very sort of like very cut off from the world. And yet there's this other sense of really, really attending to the reality of the moment, of really just being in the moment. And there's something that Rob does sometimes that I just fucking love. And he does this in The World Wasn't Built in a Day, which don't even fucking start. If you guys shit on that song like you shit on this, I'm going to fucking, the podcast is over. But that's okay. I don't need to hear. But he does the same thing in the middle of that song. Some songs will throw in a crazy guitar solo in the middle to amp you up. Rob will throw in one of his fucking verses where he just goes at it hard as shit. And that middle verse where he starts talking about the sound of the ocean, my feet in the sand, the chill of the wind, the lie of the land, that whole fucking thing, that is golden. That is when Rob does that, he's like reaching right into my cerebellum and just giving it a nice little tickle. It's fucking beautiful. And it takes the place of those guitar rips He does it with meaning. He does it with sincerity. He does it with intention. And everything else in the music just funnels down so that that's what's there, is him looking right at you, speaking to you dreadfully sincerely, looking right in your fucking eyes, and just singing directly, really in the moment. This song is about, in a certain way, being in the moment, and he's grabbing you by the face and talking directly at you in that moment. And it is so...
In the beach.
It is so intimate, and it is so real, and it is so authentic, at least to me. And, you know, he may fucking, he if I were to ask him about it, he may go like, no, man, it's fucking, you know, who the fuck knows? I mean, I don't know.
Beach.
But that's what it feels like to me. It feels like it's not just like describing a place. It's describing the beauty of really attending to exactly what's happening in the moment. You know, I've talked about this before. Matthew, you've talked about it, this sort of Buddhist strain that he comes to. And I think that middle part really informs the rest of the song about what you could look at in a certain respect as being very nihilistic, and kind of shows that, no, there's another character to this. This is about really finding connection with the moment through this long fucking journey from the cradle to the grave, which ends in that dead silence. So all jokes aside, I totally can appreciate what you guys are saying. Like, it's a light song. In a certain way, it doesn't feel like a lot of the rest of their songs. But I mean, I'm hoping there's other listeners out there that are like me. I think this song's fucking awesome. Is it The Day Everything Became Nothing? Of course it's not. But this song is fucking awesome. And actually, this is one of my favorites off this album. I think this song is incredible. I think this song, over some of the other songs on this album, I love it. And I feel like Rob really let himself be free in a lot of ways, in his sincerity. I felt like there was more sincerity coming through in this song than a lot of the songs on that album. And I loved it. I felt like it was a great vehicle for him to let loose with that. So I love it. I know it's probably not going through, and I probably won't vote it through. We'll see. But I really appreciate this song a lot. So I'm glad to be the sole voice on this podcast today that's thrown it basically any sort of love.
Do you still love us? Do you still love us still?
I do. It's good. There's got to be some tension sometimes, right?
Okay.
We got to have some battles. Can't all be love fests and unanimity.
I wonder if he spent a lot of time on the beach when he was writing these lyrics, because like it's a little bit of a throwback to Heaven is the dust beneath my shoes, because get caked in sand and grit, especially between the toes. Is very unpleasant.
Yeah. So it could be. It could be.
Two
Maybe
sides
he was at the beach.
You should be in a beach.
Sitting on the beach with this little. Yeah. All right. Well, there was that one. I guess we can move on. Now let's talk about this song that I guess it's all right, called "The Day Everything Became Nothing." Whatever. And let's listen to a bit of that.
De dag dat alles in iets opging.
All right, Matthew. Yeah.
Alrighty, so this song was released on the EP, Day Everything Became Nothing, and I think 87, and then
87.
It's also got a version on Live and Cuddly in 1991.
Yes, thank you for mentioning that. That's fucking important on this one.
It's really important on this one. In fact, that the live and cuddly version is probably my favorite version, and I
Sleighs.
It might actually push this song into maybe my. It's very difficult to answer that question. What's your favorite No Means No song? But I mean, this one could easily, as I always say, like I'd put it in my top 5, 3 out of 5 times that you ask me.
Right. 3 to 5 didn't say.
3 out of 5 days, 3 out of 5 moods. But this is a quintessential post-apocalyptic No Means No sci-fi song. And it is maybe with now the 2 songs that I would probably recommend that somebody who had never heard No Means No before should listen to get them into No Means No, because it just ties up so much. I mean, it's got the musicality, it's got the contrast, quiet parts, loud parts, fast part, no slow parts, but small parts.
Oof.
Yes. It's got the humor. It's got kind of the attitude, the banality of the apocalypse, which that's what the song's about. It's about the apocalypse, and it's about how nothing's really that different. I don't know whether that means that, we're already living in the apocalypse, or whether we won't really notice because everyone's just too bored when the apocalypse actually occurs. But this is a very No Means No-y song. I love how in the lyrics they talk about, the apocalypse is banal, and we even do banal things like forgetting stuff and forming committees. I very much picture Victoria when I listen to this song, like Rob, it's Rob, and he's downtown and the apocalypse has happened. He is at Douglas and Gates,
Rob.
and he's looking around.
Do you guys have 7-Elevens in downtown Victoria? I've always wondered that.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, good.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, no, I can't remember whether I mentioned in that I've Got a Gun, but he mentions AM/PM, and Canada's never had AM/PMs, but we do.
No, that's why I was wondering. That's why I asked the question. Like,
we do have 7-Elevens.
Yeah. Okay.
And in fact,
convenience stores.
Somebody on the So Right We're Wrong Facebook group is a French fella, and he posted his translation of the lyrics to the song into French, and
I didn't see
French.
That.
So I was actually able to correct him a little bit, because I guess he thought 7-Eleven was talking about actually time during the day. No, it was a convenience store. And then assured mutual destruction is almost like a philosophical concept.
Yeah, like the old Cold War days. Yep,
that's right. Yeah. Love the breakdown in this song. It's almost like 70s hard rock. Yeehaw. I love how it ends on a high part. So great. The live and cuddly version. Oh my God. It just brings me back so much more than maybe any song on that album. I don't listen to a lot of live albums, but live and cuddly is just so, it is.
It's live and it's cuddly.
It is a distillation of everything that I loved about being in those shows. It reminds me so much of being there. It was recorded in the Netherlands, I think in Groningen. I'm not going to try to
Vera, probably the Vera Club.
A whole bunch of
you can see these on YouTube now. I think they've got these shows actually recorded, so that's fucking fun as shit to do.
A whole bunch of Dutch people just like totally cringed at my pronunciation, but Dutch is fucked up. You gotta
we'll see how Andy's correction corner is in a couple of weeks.
Sorry,
there. Yeah.
That was Matthew who said that.
Right, exactly.
The day everything became nothing.
And?
What the hell?
De dag dat alles niets werd.
And that's what Rob tries to say at the beginning, and that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Dat dag. And he sounds so aggressive and awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very much my favorite song on this thing. I love how at the beginning everyone's calling out song names that they want to play, and then it's like fuck that. This version is a little bit faster than the album version, and the straight ahead drums right at the beginning, it just like beats your brain in. There are more bars to the intro. I think maybe one or two more. than on the album version, and that's incredible.
More than one or two. That's like a whole minute worth of intro in this fucking. Are you kidding me?
Oh, it's that good you can get away with it. That's why.
I love the tinkly little like the really taut parts underneath the tuning pegs. Like he's like the bass parts are different. I don't know. The version on Live and Cuddly is better than the one on the album version for sure.
1000%.
The snare double hit before the song actually starts. I just all the oop my
I know
favorite
you
kind
love
of
those.
stuff.
Who
I love
doesn't
those.
though? Come on, jeez.
Yeah.
They're having fun.
Yeah. And then right at the end, that's it, no more, it's finished. Which is not on the album version. So great.
So good.
And I often thought also that I couldn't remember my name, so I called myself Bob. It's weird being a Bob, but I'll get used to it. I have to. But he's Rob. So everyone calls him Rob or Robbie. So it's interesting to me
Bob.
That no, but it's interesting that he said Bob. You know, it's different, but it's not that different. Just like this apocalypse.
Right.
Yeah, but they don't.
Not quite what you want.
Like Bobby. Roberts don't like Bobby.
No, true enough.
It's true.
I'm just saying, it's an interesting choice. And
I think there's something in there actually.
This song is, I don't know. I've said before that certain matchups are like a super heavyweight versus a flyweight. This one for me, a super heavyweight versus a little kid with brittle bone syndrome. Yeah.
I'm not looking at the TV right now.
Excuse me. Wow. It's a good thing we're not recording this one visually, or my
there'd
two
be a
fingers.
Fight. There'd be a fight.
All right. Is that it?
That's it.
That's it? You're finished? All right, Strangey, hit us.
This song sucks. That's all I got to say about it.
Liar. Fucking liar.
No, I'm just kidding. Another time where I've drawn in googly eyes on my paper.
Hell yeah.
There's fucking actual googly eyes after I wrote the word. This is in the top 5 at least with this fucking doozy.
How did you spell?
Here. Is it going to be backwards like yours was?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of S's.
Oh, it is going to be backwards. OOPFT. No, the PFT.
Yep. Anyway, yeah, that's good.
This song used to, I'm not going to mention his name, but this, when I was getting into No Means No, this song used to scare one of my friends. Not in a bad way, but I mean, he loved music. He was a drummer, but when he heard this, he was just like, the fuck is this? Because it was just so out of this world and crazy. He said it kind of scared him in a good way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
This grooving intro with Rob and John, you know something's coming. Mm-hmm. You just know it. And suddenly in flies this screaming Mimi ambulance. Guitar lick that shrieks your ass off. It's almost exactly on the original recording. 30 seconds of pure emergency. And your eyes are open as wide as they can be and your mouth is too. You cannot not pay attention. Then we get to the angular verses that describe upsetting shit mixed in with some humor. This ditty is filled with half steps and tritones, which again, all make you feel fucking uneasy, and it's glorious. This is one of those songs that is their pinnacle of performance and composition. It's funk, punk, blues, and FUs.
Nice.
John's on fucking fire with the fills. Rob's a funk thunder news guy, right? I figured he was just out yelling this shit like a head. Read all about it. You know, that
right
kind
out
of
on the
thing.
street
Telling
corner with his sandwich board.
Yeah. The news guy telling the story. Andy is a screaming banshee, making sure you know just how bad it all is. And then I left some space on the other side for anything else I wanted to add, which I will if we talk about it some more.
Nice.
This song is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Right. So I'll jump in. Everything you guys said times 1,000. The song fucking kicks ass. It's one of the best. It's one of their pinnacle of the what is no means no. Well, it's this song. Here you go.
Yeah.
This song is at once absolutely hilarious and deadly serious all at the same time. They're able to hold both of those things in their hand without being and the contradiction between those two things, the frisson between those two things just makes every hair on my body stand up. It's amazing. And Matthew, I'm 100% with you that the live version of this is a pinnacle. And when I did see them play this live, they did go with that opening. I think the opening of that, which is much longer, it's got a whole fucking thing. Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
He's just playing one note.
It's incredible. But then the guitar, and then the guitar is going up and down. It's insane. Oh, yeah. And then in both versions, Andy comes in with that guitar that's like a missile siren, right? It's just this crazy klaxon blazing down the street. It's fucking
screaming
amazing.
Mimi.
So this is a song about the apocalypse, but what I find really interesting about this song lyrically is that it's a kind of apocalypse that no one, as far as I know, has ever written about before. This is the apocalypse of if suddenly in every human being, the part of our being that has meaning just gets removed. So there's not missiles, there's not explosions. It's just suddenly in every human being on earth, it makes me realize, and when I really listen to this song, it gives me that sense of how fucking tenuous is it to be a human being on this earth when almost everything that dictates my experience is dictated by this ephemeral, illusory sense of shared meaning that we all have. That's something we all share and we don't even ever realize it. It's the water that we swim in. What happens if one day that's just yanked away and you don't have it?
We're going to find out. We're finding out lately.
We're getting close, actually, lately, I have to say. But this is not an apocalypse of the outside. This is an apocalypse of the inside. This is an apocalypse where it occurs because something is removed from inside of each person. It's not something forced on them from outside. It's just suddenly everybody waking up and not having a sense of meaning. And every line, every verse is about what would it be to contend with all these ordinary fucking things. The garbage still smells. The alleys are still fucking dirty, but suddenly nothing means anything anymore. What the fuck is that? And that's genius. I've never
freedom.
Nobody is, but it's freedom, but it's terror. It's the most horrifying thing I could imagine, because that is the root of being human in a sense. That's the root of what keeps societies together. That's the root of everything. And that would be probably the most apocalyptic thing. What are all other apocalyptic stories almost all revolve around the fact that all this shit can happen that's really horrible, but still the human spirit takes over and they still, most of them, still they pull together and blah, blah, blah. That's because they still have that inner sense of fucking meaning. But what if that was taken out? That's the ultimate apocalypse. And nothing has to happen. Nothing out in the world has to happen to change that. But if that's taken, that's the real fucking apocalypse. Then you got nothing. Then you really are left with just fucking nothing. And that's where I think I call myself Bob thing comes in. Because it's like, why does he care? Why do people care if they're called Rob or Bob? It's that sense of self. It's that sense of personal meaning. But if you don't have that anymore, I guess I'll just be Bob now. It's weird being a Bob, but I guess I'll just get used to it.
Yeah, and all he's got in common with a chick is good sex.
Exactly. But now she can't even remember his address because even that doesn't mean anything anymore. There's just no sense of meaning for anything. It's all nothing. And that's just genius. Mm-hmm. That is fucking genius. That is getting to the root of what apocalypse means and saying like, nah, none of the rest of you fuckers understood it. None of the rest of you fuckers get what an apocalypse would really be. Let me tell you what an apocalypse really is. All while doing it in the funniest fucking words that you could possibly fucking do. I'm sorry. None of you fuckers got anything on Rob Wright. This guy, he just laps you continually. And this song just proves it.
But the music is what's haunting. The lyrics are the fun stuff.
I don't think the lyrics are fun stuff if you really listen to it, frankly. They're fun.
Well,
they're not.
Funny, but
and
the
music,
they're not as...
the music. But even the music breaks into that disco break in the middle. That's them having fun and kind of going like, who the fuck cares? None of it means anything. But
let's rack up.
Comes back into you with that fucking...
Oh my God, that guitar. I want to know what guitar chord that is.
Ooh. If it's even a chord, I would reckon that's not a chord. That's some fucking weird shit. But this song is absolutely brilliant. I would agree. I think it dips in and out of my top 5.
Oh,
I don't know that even I would call it one of my top 5, but it's one of those songs I look at and just go, well, it's unassailable. I mean, you can't. It's unassailable. It may not be a song I dip back into all the time, but every time I hear it, it's like, yeah, this is an example of their
sirens are going off.
They're absolute and utter genius. If you dispute that with this band, get the fuck out. So I gotta say, I don't know. Don't let the door hit you on your way out. It doesn't have to be your favorite. But come on, this song, man. Yeah. Anyway,
the nature of that apocalypse that you're talking about. I mean, I think we totally agree. It's just my take on it. It's like maybe slight 5-degree turn on it is something happened, but it wasn't so much that something happened and their meaning was gone. It was just a realization that there was never any meaning to begin with.
Well, that's actually kind of what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's not, you're right. It's not like something's removed. It's just that realization, which is what I was kind of trying to get to. I didn't say it well enough that actually all you have to do is tip a little bit to the left and be there. Like all of us can get there. So what happened if all of us got there at the same time? What if all of us made that tip at once and everybody suddenly went, oh, fuck. This is all pointless. Yeah, not so much that someone reached in and removed an organ. Yeah, so I agree with you 100%.
Such a piece of music.
I mean, this is very like what Sartre would have been creaming in his jeans over this fucking song. He'd have been like, "Yeah, this is the existentialist apocalypse. Like, why didn't I write this? God damn it! Fucking, this is better than The Stranger. For fuck's sake, yeah." Yeah, they should became Nietzsche. And this is why I'm grateful. My son finds this band to be his favorite band of all time because it's songs like this, like songs that really make you fucking think about the nature of human existence, not stupid fucking pop music. So anyway, thank you, Rob. Thank you, No Means No, for crafting
Rob
shit like this.
He's so interesting.
So you guys both had blank shit on your pages. Anything more you want to add after my screed?
Well, I hope you're going to vote the right way. That's all I got to say.
We'll see. I don't know. I don't make the rules. All right. Well, I guess let's vote. Matthew, you're first.
Yeah, I decided not to telegraph this one. There's no competition.
No, not at all. I had no idea.
Yeah. The day everything became nothing. The day everything became nothing. Yeah.
Michelle.
I'm going to say it in Dutch. Can you say it for me, Matthew?
No, you got to say it. Try it. No, say it. Try it.
No, I can't.
God damn it.
De dag dat alles niets werd.
Yeah.
De dag dat alles niets werd.
That's not what he says at all. I've always felt he was trying to speak German because doesn't he goes 1, 2, 3, 4? That's not Dutch, is it?
It could be. I don't know. I'm sure we'll.
I think it's German because it's like the dag dat alles in flink oplink, and I think or something. It sounds more German to me. Listeners, correct us. Tell us what language he's speaking.
Well,
but I don't
Dutch is
know.
just Germans who know how to have fun.
Hey, there you go. You go. Ooh, I got some singers in my head right now that I am not going to say. All right.
I only think it was Dutch because it was recorded in Holland, I think. Or not Holland.
No, you're right.
It's not in Holland. It's in the Netherlands. It's actually in Groningen.
Amsterdam. Yeah. Groningen.
It would make sense. It would make sense. Maybe Andy.
Friesland, I think.
I'm going to break the fourth wall a little bit. Maybe Andy will fill us in when he hears this one. All right. Well, Michelle, we know your vote. My vote. I mean, it's clear what I'm going to vote for, but I'm not. I mean, I'm very enthusiastic about this vote. I just happen to. I'm going to give Till I Die a big old hug because you fuckers are spitting in its poor little baby face.
No, I didn't know.
And I'm going to say, no. You can't take it back. You can't take it back. No take backs.
No.
I'm giving it kisses and say, I love you, baby, and go forth. It's okay. As I stab the knife into its heart. Yeah, yeah. And you're like singing Santa Claus songs over it. So fuck that.
I know.
But. Just remember, all you listeners out there, I gave it some love, even though I'm now pushing it down the stairs into the basement. It's gone. The day everything became nothing has unanimousness and goes through.
It's not so bad in the basement. That's where I am right now.
That's right.
Me too, technically.
There's dear old dad silhouetted up at the top. So, can't be all bad.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, we have made the day everything became nothing into something, and Till I Die died. And we are obsessed with Obsessed, and Try Not to Stutter unfortunately needs to go back to some speech pathology. Here we are. We've done it again. I'm hoping some of you have been yelling into the microphone, and others have been grinning and pumping your fist. Join us on the socials. You know the drill. Find us where we're at. all the places at No Means Nothing on Twitter and Instagram. I don't know why we never fucking post there except for the album shit, but do it anyway because it makes us feel good, makes me feel good. And then join our Facebook group. That's where the real talking happens at No Means Nothing podcast Facebook group. And if you're not already, I know Facebook sucks, but hey, just come to it for these two sites. No Means No, So Right, We're Wrong, and No Means Nothing podcast group. That's it. You don't have to do any other bullshit. You don't have to tell your family you're on there. Just come and talk with a bunch of other fucking nerds. We're all fun. They're great communities. I'm dead serious about this. The algorithms, fuck them, you know?
I got to say,
middle finger up.
Sorry for the technical issues. I'm really not sure whether, it might be different on what platform, whether you're on your phone or whether you're on your laptop or whatever. But please, if you join the podcast group, please try to answer the questions because there have been a lot of people coming in and I would love to have everybody in there. But, today there was...
the makeup chick.
What appeared to be a young woman, a Hispanic woman, all of her posts were in Spanish, from Odessa, Texas. She was a teenager. Her expressed greatest interest is makeup. I'd love to have someone like that in the group, genuinely, who liked No Means No. That'd be great. But that was a bot, and I need to be able to tell the difference between a bot and a human. So please answer the questions. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should change the question instead of what your favorite one is to
how about name a song? Like name a No Means No song. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll change that. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you've made it through another episode. This one's not quite as lengthy as the others. That's what happens when you have one song that has no lyrics and another song that most everyone hates. Oh, but we do. Sorry. Yeah. We've got a fabulous Andy's Corrections. And Michelle gets to read them this week.
I'm going to try and read this. All right, here he says, just finished listening to episode 12. Lots of fun as usual. I couldn't think of so much to say about the tower, but here's what I wrote down. Oh, you see, he writes down stuff like I do. I like that. The tower. The only thing I can think of to mention about the tower is that during the Wrong Records sessions, when we had finished laying down the bed tracks, Rob pointed out that he thought the song didn't seem to have enough weight, sonically speaking. It may have seemed a little fast as well. So someone, I can't recall who exactly, suggested slowing down the instrumental backing slightly. This achieved two things. One, the song was more plodding, and two, the tone of all the instruments were deeper. In the days of analog, this was as simple as turning a knob. We fiddled around until we were happy with how it sounded. Finally, we added the vocals, not slowed down. Of course, because we slowed down the tape, the key of the song changed. The tower is in the key of E. With the altered tape speed, it ended up being a tiny bit sharper than E flat. Brainless Wonder, that's me saying that. Brainless Wonder, which follows the tower on Wrong, is also in the key of E, but at the regular tape speed. Oh, come on. Isn't that juicy?
That's juicy as hell.
That's me talking the juicy stuff. Oh, man.
And I'm going to be an asshole here. I got to point in that in the chat. No, you did. It was all perfect. You didn't read it wrong. In the chat that I didn't capture because it was just back and forth, he did confirm that Rob actually was not a fan, but he was into the tarot at the time, the Aleister Crowley deck in particular, which is what Matthew used Crowley's Tower card for our episode where we had the tower. So
called the
a little bit of the Tomer. The little bit of confirmation that there is tarot imagery in there, which
Tomer,
I think
that's right.
It was pretty obvious anyway. But God, Andy, thank you again, man.
Jeez,
cannot tell you how fucking awesome it is. And we've had a lot of users, not users. That's the wrong word. We've had a lot of listeners tell us how stoked they are that we're getting to hear these little bits. And hopefully, I mean, this episode. Hopefully he's got some shit you'll be able to dig into too, but we'll see. So lucky us, everybody. All right. Well, again, I'm not going to go through that whole spiel again because I did it too early, but we made it. You made it. And I just want to ask, what about me? Can I get in for free?
Can I get in for free?
Can I get in for free?
Free? You know me.